And I remember getting to set, and the first thing I did was go to a fitting. I met our costume designer, tried on that little pantsuit, and then immediately after that, they sent us home because someone got COVID, so production was shut down.
This is when the Nut Destroyer was
Yeah,
born.
my goodness.
My McNuggets. Definitely. Please welcome Oona O'Brien.
Oh my gosh, what an intro. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, let's go. Oh.
Hey.
Why do you say that? I only trained for 6 weeks. I'm gonna be stomping all of these weak ass bitches next year.
So cocky.
The white female fighters get eliminated.
Okay, oh my gosh. What did we just watch? That was my first time meeting Peyton. Like that day. I think I had practiced the fight with my stunt double at the time
Mhm.
and Selkie Holm, who's awesome. We had just run through it like a couple times. She taught me the basics of it. And then Peyton was like the last person in the cast that I got to meet. I was
Really?
so excited to meet her because I had like grown up watching her on Jessie and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So I was like, oh my gosh, like she's an integral part of my childhood. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like really nervous to meet her. And I believe the exact words she said to me were, "Hi, I'm Peyton, let's fight." And then immediately after she was like kicking me and taking me down. And Peyton, by the way, Peyton is so strong. That bit where she lifts me up and then throws me down, she's actually lifting me up. I don't know, I'm not super
Wow.
light. Like, it's impressive. She's got
Yeah.
muscle.
I remember that one scene where she pushes Quan and like she was being nice at first and I was like
Yeah.
yeah, she was being really nice at first. I was like, Peyton, you can go. And she flew me like across like the take they used, like I wasn't actually over exaggerating that. Like I was like, oh shoot. Like, speaking of that stunt, did you do that fall? Like I was looking for a stunt double there, but it looked like you.
That was me.
That was you. You did the fall and everything.
I did the fall. We're on a spring floor, so it wasn't
Dang.
bad. I mean,
Wow.
you know the stunt team, they're awesome. Like they walk you
Yeah.
through it, they take it slow, and I feel like Peyton really just like gently laid me down. It wasn't
Uh-huh.
really like it looked like she was throwing me, but she's a great actress. What can I say?
Did they do a stunt pass for that too? With the doubles
Um
in?
I don't think so. I think for that one they didn't. Yeah, no, I think that was just us. But we got
Wow.
to practice it together a few times before, and yeah, I was really nervous though because that was like my first time actually fighting anyone. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know that I was going to be fighting. I had suspicions that I would fight Peyton because actually in the character description they specifically said like a tall Asian girl, and I was like, if they need a tall Asian girl, like who is she fighting? Because I mean
Mm.
Mary's not super tall, and then
Do do do.
we love no, we love all 5 feet of Mary, but
Yeah.
no, but so I was like, oh, I think maybe I'll be fighting Peyton, and yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow. When was this in your time on the show then? Was this towards the end of you coming on then?
Yeah, this was at the end of season 4. I think that was just the debate scene was the only thing we filmed out of order for me.
And then is this the first time you met everyone on Miyagi-Do, like Ralph and Jacob and
Yes.
like
Yeah.
cuz this is like where everyone's together, right? Cuz it before this it's just Eagle Fang. What was that
I
like
think it
meeting
was my first
everyone?
time meeting everyone. Oh,
Uh-huh.
I honestly like I felt like I saw them all so much in passing first. So we never really I don't
Mm.
remember like a proper introduction for every person. Just because I
Mm.
felt like I had seen them a lot and be like, oh hey, I'm so and so, and but then we'd end up having like conversations on the sidelines while our teams were watching other people fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely like nice to get to sort of once you're out, just sit back and watch everyone fight because that's when
Yeah.
you just get to chat and mingle with all the other folks.
Did you guys have like a group training beforehand? Because you just said that you didn't get to fight Peyton until the day, right? You were learning the fight with your double.
Yes.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
guys never got to like have like a whole everyone training together kind of thing before that.
No, I think for this tournament, because I know like for the big brawls, they'll do like a big group fight with everyone, but because everyone had like individual fights, we all just kind of worked on our own and at separate times. So yeah, I think
Oh
I did
wow.
everything with the stunt double and then did it with her like a few times before on the day, and she killed it. She came at me super fierce, and I was scared. So there were all no reactions.
That is your very first fight scene, right?
Yeah, that was my first fight scene.
Wow. So then how much time did you have to like learn it and prep it and everything?
Um, Maybe like a day or two.
Oh my gosh.
I
What?
I know. It's so quick. They move really fast. I felt like season five, I know this was season four, but specifically season five and the end of season four too, just because I feel like we're always sort of rushing towards the end of production. We had almost no time to rehearse those scenes
Mhm.
or anything. So yeah, it's really just like on the spot.
Dang, holy cow. That is wow. I'm mind blown because number one, like think screen fighting is its whole own martial art in its own way. Like, because it's such a thing with timing, knowing your partner. Because when I watched that scene, I'm like, I thought you guys had at least like, even knowing how fast they shoot in the show, I'm like, oh, they probably got to rehearse at least like 2 days, like with Peyton. And then you're saying you didn't learn it with Peyton. You have to fight with her on a day, so it's different having a different
Right.
partner. Like the timing's different, the spacing's different. On top of that, you're still new to martial arts. That's crazy. Like I would have never guessed. That is mind blowing to me. Because even for me, like I've trained martial arts my whole life, but when I first got into like screen fighting, just awful. Like all my technique and performance
No.
just went right out the window. So that's why I'm like even more amazed where you're learning both at the same time and you're still able to like perform like that. You just literally get thrown in the deep and it's like, okay, like wow, that's
I mean, we had
crazy.
so much help though. I didn't luckily like that fight was pretty short. Like even just spending a couple of hours on it, you do just get to drill it in and work through all the kinks and yeah, I mean the stunt team is always they're always there to make sure you feel prepared and safe even when there is a time crunch. So, yeah, we had all
So
the
then
support.
when you were drilling it with Peyton then it was on the day and was it just like rehearsal before you guys shoot pretty much? Is that the only time you really got to fight her then?
I think so. I think earlier in the day we had like a training tent. Do we have that for season 6 at all?
It was like in the
We
cafeteria.
did, we did, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but there was like a
Yeah.
similar situation where they set up a tent, and I
Uh-huh.
think it was like sort of outside or whatever, and we were
Uh-huh.
just training there in between takes. But yeah, it was pretty much everything just happened right before.
Was it any different doing it with your double versus doing it with Peyton?
I mean, yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, the doubles, Olivia, her double, did a great job of mimicking all of her movements. Like
Mm-hmm.
she studied Peyton. She knew how she moved, every little
Mm.
mannerism that she did. Like
Mm-hmm.
Olivia had that down, so
Mm.
they made it pretty seamless.
I'm mind blown right now. That's crazy.
How long did you have for Shang-Chi to do all those fights?
Months.
For one fight?
That bus sequence. Oh, there you go again, flipping
That's
at
the
me.
coolest sequence ever. That is one of my favorite fight sequences, just period.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So this is why I was even more amazed coming onto the show. I think I've told some of you guys this in the past, but I'll say it again. Like because most of my stunt experience has been on film, and with film, a lot of times you get more time to prep. We were prepping for 3 months. We probably had over 200 different versions of that fight. Like every day we come to Fox and we shoot for like 10 to 12 hours and then we edit it and then we send it to the producers and the director and they give notes and we go back and do reshoots and we're
Oh,
just doing
wow.
different like all day. Yeah,
So
so
how
it's
much of
like
that, wait, like how much of that was on the day filming versus just prep?
well, all that was still on the day and they probably had like a couple weeks for that, a a week or so for that scene.
No
Um,
way.
but most of that is all previs. So that's where
Okay.
that's one of the biggest differences between, I think, TV and film a lot of times, and it also just depends on the director's style. But I think definitely for Cobra Kai, just because things move so fast, they do something called master shotting everything. So it's like they shoot just like you shoot dialogue, where it's like coverage. You know, we get your angle, we get my angle, we get a
Right.
master. For like a lot of, it's very Hong Kong style, where like Shang-Chi, it's like you know exactly what choreography you're doing at each camera angle. So you'll do like four, if you have like a 20 beat scene, right? You'll
Mhm.
do like 4 beats on one camera angle, then you cut. Then you do
Oh,
so you can hone in on each like movement more, and you can play with the rhythm even more.
that's
Versus,
cool.
that's why I was mind blown. I'm like, you guys are doing like 50 beats of choreo, acting back to back to back, all in one. Like that's why I kept telling everyone, I was like, when you guys go on a movie, like an action movie where you have more time to prep, you guys are gonna it's gonna be so easy for you guys. Like, because
Oh,
I thought, even being in the film industry, watching the show, I'm like, okay, they probably prevising, they probably have like months to train. No, and then you guys,
no.
I come on, and I've like been in stunts professionally, and even I was struggling. I'm like, how, what? And
That's a
I
lot.
have been training for this
That's a
my
lot.
whole life, and I'm struggling. And these guys had to come in, never doing this before, and having to do it. Like, I was. This is kind of the behind the scenes stuff that a lot of people might not know out there. Of like, the product that you guys give out is just like unbelievable to the amount of prep time that you have. It's not necessarily prep, and it's not production's fault. I think it's just like a,
Right.
it's like a budget thing, and it's
It's just
just
how
all,
it
you know,
is.
yeah, it's
Just
just how it
the
is.
it's the Cobra Kai way.
Yeah, they shoot like a soap opera pretty much, so it's like,
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's
oh
true.
my gosh.
Train at the peak, long after the sun has set and the nights turn cold. You two, up.
Yeah, you're all of a sudden her height. That's crazy.
In your face! The way the fist means you do not hold back. You do not go easy.
Him is so mean.
Ooh,
Harder.
ooh.
This is brutal.
Do not accept defeat. Do not accept surrender. You fight as if today is your last.
Oh my gosh, this fight.
Oh, let's go.
Strength. Determination. That is the way of the fist. Class dismissed.
차렷! 경례!
Poor Devon.
She's so mean. Sensei Kim.
Yeah, I know from experience as well. She's rough.
It's true. She's mean. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Any initial flashbacks that are coming back as you're watching that?
All the flashbacks. Okay. I know I've said like every scene we didn't have time. That scene we really didn't have time.
Really? What?
Peyton and I again each learned it with our like respective stunt doubles. I think we learned it like the night before, and then I practiced it all night because it was like a decent number of beats, and
Yeah.
there was the whole prop involved too. I was pretty nervous for it, but I drilled it in. I felt pretty good about it when I showed up to set, and then we filmed all the scenes with dialogue that day, the first half of the day. And then we get there to do, or we come back from lunch to do all the fighting, and they say, "Hey, you learned the new fight, right?" And we're like, "Yeah, we learned it yesterday." And they're like, "No, like the changes, like you got all the changes, right?" And we're like, "You're joking. There's no changes. We haven't even done it with each other yet. Like that couldn't be, right?" And they're like, "No, we actually redid the entire fight. It's completely different now."
Oh
And then so while
no.
they're setting up the cameras, Peyton and I were off in a corner, just like learning an entire new fight. It was so fresh that by the time we actually started filming, when we filmed with each other stunt doubles, they were like whispering the next moves. They're like, "Okay, and this is the hook kick, and then this is the punch," and I'm like,
As
it
you were
was
filming?
so while we were filming.
Wow.
Yeah, but we did not have any time to spare for that one.
That's like a really tough scene too, because you guys are, I'm like, how did you guys? You're fighting over a table and a stick. Like that's such a
Yeah.
weird like.
So it was a little awkward to do just with all the placement of everything.
Yeah. How was that? There was that special where like I think she kicks your hand down
Yeah.
onto the stick and then kicks your face. Like was that a separate special that you guys did, or did you guys do that in the master shot?
No, that you're right. That was a separate special. I think we
Okay.
tried to do it in the master shot and then it just never quite connected. And they didn't want my hand to get destroyed either, so they did
Yeah,
it
yeah.
for that Cobra Kai scene.
So did they just have her foot just like right here and just lightly drop it?
I think
Drop
so.
it.
I think
Okay.
like we actually her foot was on my hand and then we slammed it down together,
Yeah.
something like that. But yes, I was not actually injured in that, luckily, although it did look like it. So she did her
Yeah.
job. She did her thing.
Like jumping over that table, was that intimidating at all? Doing the flying sidekick over the table?
I think I asked to do it
Really?
because yeah, I think I had been watching like Kicking It and I noticed that Jack did like a flying sidekick and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I want to try that. So I think at one point I asked them if I could do that and they're like, oh, you could do it in this scene over the table. And that was fun. I don't know how I convinced them to do it.
That is a sick moment to jump over that. Like I feel like I would be worried about hitting my foot on the table as I'm going over.
Yeah, like clearing it all the way. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Did you hit it at all?
No, I don't. I've never gotten injured on this. Have you? No, you did, sort of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Rip. I'm sorry.
But seriously, nothing? Not even a
No.
little like bruise or nothing?
No, nothing for real. Yeah, nothing worth reporting. But
Dang, you're just built of steel then.
I'm doing the injuring. No, hopefully not. I hope no one got injured. Yeah, I remember they gave us so many different directions while filming that scene because we had learned the other version of the fight and then they kept changing it while we were filming it. There was this one thing about like either I was supposed to drop the stick or keep holding on to it after we had done the entire fight scene and I kept doing the wrong thing and I think they wanted me to hold on to it so she could kick it out of my hand and I kept dropping it when I flew over the table because that was like the initial choreo and of course it's like the very last thing we do so I remember
Oh.
remember redoing that shot a lot but that was my bad but luckily we got it and
Well, it must have been tough because
that's crazy.
you had been drilling a different version of the fight.
Yeah, I said there's so much adrenaline too. I was just like ready to let
Yeah.
it go and get kicked
Yeah.
down to the ground. So
It's interesting because, like, I mean, this is the part where I think it's such a big learning curve learning screen fighting because when you're just doing dialogue, right, you're supposed to use all of your emotions. And yes, you should in screen fighting too, but so much of it is control, like in movie magic with angles and stuff. Yeah, that's just got to be hard to, like, find the timing on all that stuff, but still portraying the right emotion, but making sure you don't kill each other. Like,
yes,
was that hard to throw the previous version of the fight out of your brain?
100%. I feel like both Peyton and I probably had takes where we just reverted back to the original, but I don't know. Luckily we did have the stunt doubles like whispering off to the side.
Yeah.
Okay, and then do this, and then do this. So we had a lot of help with that one for sure.
If I had to guess out of all these fight scenes, I was like that's probably the one they had the most prep, and it's crazy because you said that's the one that you had the least amount of prep. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to guess. That's crazy.
I feel like they did do a few good stunt passes on that too.
Is that 50-50 shot that's like the high angle shot? Is that the stunt pass?
That might be, yeah. I remember that day they did all of my coverage first for the entire fight because I was 15. I think I could only work 10 hours on set. I think I had like 3 hours left, so we're filming this scene, and which is that's actually a long time, a decent amount of time to film a fight, but to get both sides of the coverage with the prop table and the stick or whatever too, it was just
No, that's a lot. Usually that's split up in multiple days, probably.
yeah, yeah. But I had to do all my scenes first, half with Peyton, half with her stunt double, and then once I left, I didn't even know this, but they filmed some of the wide shots without me, and then all of her coverage after too. So
Yeah, if people don't know, like if you're a minor on a movie set, they're very like strict about the hours. Like I mean, you and Dallas were still minors when we were shooting
yeah,
season 6, and I just remember like the moment it hits, is it 10 hours?
10 and a half.
10 and a half? Like or even with lunch, like something like that. Like
Yes.
I don't know. It was like
Oh
you're-
my
it
gosh,
was
yeah, we
so
would
much
be
more
eating lunch
strict.
together and then they'd yank us away from you guys. I remember
Yeah. it would be like immediate. All right, they're out, and we're like, oh, okay, bye guys. Like,
Yeah, there's no
like
finishing your conversation.
yeah,
You can do that later. It's we got to go because
yeah.
we film or we have to do a minimum of 3 hours of school a day. Anytime we do school, we have to do a minimum of 20-minute. We have to do school in 20-minute increments.
Hmm.
So if we don't get a full 20-minute block in between camera setups or however they do it, then that school doesn't count, and we'd have to redo. So if we got 18 minutes, they wouldn't count it. If we got 19 minutes, they might, but they were pretty strict about it. Like our teachers, by the way, our teachers were the best. Miss Michelle is the best teacher ever. Miss Michelle, if you're watching this, I love you so much. Yeah, they're pretty intense about all the schools.
Yeah, I just remember like they would have your guys' photo doubles like on standby, and immediately you guys are out, and then they switch you guys in, and then we would have to shoot everything behind. That must have been really hard because then you have to cram everything that you're on camera for, like your face is on camera for. That scene in particular, right? You're saying like literally they're like, okay, we know Oona has to be out by this time, so we got to do every single shot where we see her face now. And it's probably true. Like, oh, well, okay, well, let's do.
Yeah, I was like, oh, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up.
Yeah.
I feel like any day doing school on set, which is every day on set, there's no escaping school on set.
Oh gosh.
It's always so intense with the timing. Wow. Did you ever do school on set?
Oh no, I didn't get into acting until I was 20.
Oh really?
So, yeah.
What?
So,
you didn't, Wait, did you do like theater and stuff when you were growing up?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, how'd you fall into theater, or how'd you fall into acting? That's crazy.
Oh, there she goes again.
No.
That's a long story, but I'll try to sum it up in a very short amount of time. Well, I've always wanted to, but like growing up in Minnesota, the only thing that was available was theater, and it just didn't interest me at the time because a lot of it was just like period pieces and those kind of things never, like I just wanted to do the cool action stuff, you know, like I would like just grow up watching Power Rangers and, you know, Jackie Chan and just trying to copy him like 24/7. So I would always make like small like videos with my brother and stuff like that, but never like seriously act. And then my dad submitted me without telling me to a talent school in Minnesota called DNA Talent. And originally like I was like, I want to model. Because like it was in Minnesota, like you never see, there's barely any Asians in general, and then there's rarely 5'11" Asians. So like I was like, okay, maybe I'll just try it out on the side. Like I'm young, I just want to try some stuff. And when I got there, they were like,
whatever.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. But then they were like, yeah, you should try acting. And then I tried it and I just fell in love with it. I realized I was studying it way harder than any of my classes in college. And then I'm not telling you, I mean, you're about to go to college, so don't, I'm not encouraging to drop out, but I ended up the same time, because I wasn't very good at school, the same time I was trying to transfer colleges. At the same time I got declined from the school I was trying to transfer to, I got signed by an agent. And it felt like the universe was telling me, like, do this. And my agent was like, move out to LA. And I was like, screw it, I'm going to regret it if I don't. So packed my bags and sent it out here, yeah.
Wait, you were going to school in Minnesota and then, oh my gosh, that's such an intimidating move.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's weird. I've always had like this calling to LA though, or just California. Like I remember like a year before that, none of it was in the cards, but I have some family that lives in OC, and we would be at Universal Studios, and I'm like, I don't know why, but I want to move out here one day. Like I just feel like it. And then it happened like a year later.
That's awesome.
Yes. Maybe you use all of your luck by kicking everyone in the balls in the beginning.
Yeah, it was fun. I love getting beat up on the show. Switching into the action, where they're just, you know, it's the biggest difference is definitely just the height difference.
I knew you can tell you've been training.
We had time for this one. We had 2 days.